The third mistake. A warrior should be like a warrior who regards death as home. On the battlefield, his head can be broken, blood can flow, and integrity should not be lost. And you? You came to me and begged for mercy. On the real battlefield, you will also be down on the enemy. Kneel to beg for mercy? Would you also beg the other side to show mercy and let you go? A warrior who kneels down to the enemy begging for mercy is by no means a qualified warrior. Therefore, I said that you are not a qualified warrior. Do you have half wronged yourself? What you are doing now has tainted the word martial artist. Therefore, I advise you not to practice martial arts anymore. You are not worthy. Since you have such a benevolent woman, you should go back to be a good wife, a good mother, and a good woman. I believe you will perform better than a warrior. After Charlie's unrelenting reprimand, Nanako's mood collapsed instantly, and she cried bitterly. Charlie's words let Nanako understand that she had never been a qualified martial artist. Even though she has never won a world championship, even if she has been a top young master in the world, she still doesn't understand the soul of martial arts. Seeing her crying with pear blossoms and rain, the whole person almost collapsed. Charlie couldn't help but sighed and said, "Excuse me, what I said just now is a bit heavier, but I hope you can understand what real martial arts soul is." Nanako raised her head, and observed Charlie with big red eyes. She knelt on the ground with her legs bent and said with tears, "I also ask Mr. Charlie to make it clear, and request you to order it." Charlie didn't stretch out his hand to help her, but said seriously, "The soul of martial arts is not in the level of strength, but the strength of the heart. He has a strong heart, even if he is a waste person, he does not live up to the martial arts spirit. For example, your master, although he is defiant and conceited, can at least bear the consequences of failure. From this point of view, he is indeed much better than you." Nanako said sadly, "Master even tried to commit suicide today. I believe that if his hands can still be used, he will definitely choose to commit suicide." Charlie nodded. Then this proves that although he is very weak, he still has a strong heart. From the bottom of his heart, he has not lived up to the identity of a martial artist, and you. Having said that, Charlie glanced up and down Nanako, and said seriously, "For now, you are really not suitable for martial arts practice. Let me give you a piece of advice. After this competition, go back to Japan and go to your university. After graduating from university, you can take a postgraduate entrance examination for further studies, or get married and have children as soon as possible to live the life of an ordinary people." Nanako said with red eyes and earnestly said, but I really don't want to give up martial arts." Charlie said lightly, "Since you don't want to give up, then you have to find a way to make your heart stronger." Nanako asked, "Mr. Charlie, how do I become stronger inside?" Charlie said, "It's very simple. First of all, you have to start with your master. First confess his fate for him. This is the first step to a strong heart. To avenge him is the second step to a strong heart." Nanako hurriedly waved her hand. "Mr. Charlie, I never thought of avenging master." Nanako knows that she is far from her opponent, and also knows that master's ending today, no wonder he. "Yeah." Charlie nodded approvingly, and said seriously, "Since you know that you can't blame me for this matter, it proves that you have made a little progress. This matter is entirely your master's fault. So I advise you not to put too much psychological pressure on yourself. If you think he is pitiful, just take care of him after returning to Japan." Nanako nodded again and again. "Mr. Charlie, I understand." Charlie said, "Well, it's okay if you understand, it's okay. It's not too early. You should go back." Nanako hurriedly said, "Mr. Charlie, I have one more question to ask you." "Charlie, say it." Nanako asked, "Mr. Charlie, is it possible for you to accept Nanako as a disciple?" Charlie said decisively, "It's impossible." "Why?" Nanako hurriedly asked him, "Is it because I am not qualified enough, or because I am Japanese?" Charlie didn't conceal his words and said straightforwardly, "The main reason is that you are a Japanese. For thousands of years, the Chinese have taught the Japanese so much, but the Japanese don't know how to be grateful. In the past 2 to 3 centuries of modern times, they have repeatedly made enemies with China and even harmed the Chinese people. As the saying goes, I will gain one wisdom from one bite. Therefore, I will never pass the Chinese martial arts to a woman from Japan. Nanako lost her heart instantly. She wanted him to be her master, but she cannot change her nationality. So, she hurriedly put her hands on the floor, bowed her head and said, "Mr. Charlie, I apologize to you and the Chinese people on behalf of those who have hurt the Chinese people. I'm sorry. I will do my best to be the opposite of what is the image in your mind about us." Charlie waved his hand. "Okay, this account may never be clear. I am very pleased if you have this heart." After finishing speaking, he reached out to support Nanako and said, "You have 2 more matches to play next. Go back and prepare well." As Aoshui's coach, I am still looking forward to seeing the 2 of you meet in the finals. So in the next semi-finals, you must play well. Only after successfully qualifying for the final can you meet Aoshui in the final. Nanako said firmly, "Mr. Charlie, please rest assured, I will definitely go all out to meet Aoshui in the final." "Okay." Charlie nodded in satisfaction. "Then see you in the finals." After that, Charlie turned back to the BMW car and drove into his villa. Nanako looked in the direction behind the car for a long time, until Charlie disappeared, and she was still standing there, touching for about 10 minutes. At this moment, deep in her heart, a strong admiration for Charlie suddenly emerged. It turns out that a man like Charlie is the real martial arts master. Deep down, she made a comparison between the two.